We have two speakers. Matt's not here quite yet, so we'll just get started. And Jay Sung, is that how I say your name?
Yeah, I was by Jay.
Okay, Jay. He's going to present beat packing.
Yeah.
It's called beat packing or just beat?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
That's right.
Sure, we'll come on up here and tell us a little bit about it.
Can I go with it very informal?
Sure,
Is it
sure.
okay?
Yeah.
I just want to catch up this meetup, and 2 months ago when you guys started a meetup, as a second month I think, but I was out of the country, and then I'm really looking for the meeting. I mean, being here to share that what we have building and so forth. So my name is Jae Sung Ro. Much more simpler ways. I go by Jay, so you can call me Jay. I've been here in Austin about 6 years, and I'm working for the company called Beat Packing. So we pack the beat. We're a music mobile app company in Korea. So we're building music app primarily that's servicing the Korean territory at this moment. So but we actually expanding and try to build a business here in the U.S. So that's why I'm here, and I don't know how to show that the apps and everything. You could be able to download it from the Android app stores and then iOS app store. I mean Apple iTunes app store. So. But just quickly go over to that feature set. We have a radio features actually play the music that pre-curated playlist, which is we play the music endlessly when you clicking and select channels. We have about 25 channels of the sort of like the we inspired by that the radio experiences. So about like 70% of the content is actually Korean originated, like the K-pop things. But we also have that the other repertoire as well, the worldwide repertoire too. So which is that pretty much like the competitive app that probably you might familiar with, like Spotify and Audio in this country. So we have a radio features which have actually I don't know you'd be able to see that back there. But radio channel, by clicking up the channels, actually we play the music for you, so which is pretty new release everything. So this is quite pretty slow here in the network connectivity though. And then moreover, we have from the radio experiences, we can be, unlike that the terrestrial FM and AM, you can be able to interacting. So terrestrial radio, such as like FM, AM radio, you just listen to the music that by one direction, the DJ play the music for you. But in this case, you can be able to actually like it, and then you can leave a comment on a particular song, or you can put it in, if you like it, you can put it into your own playlist. So, so this is kind of playlist you created for your own preference and your own set of the music that you like it. Moreover, that one of the things that we enhance the value to the consumer is that it's pretty much similar type of community that the Twitter has, but intermediating the music. So you can have a following and follower for your music listing. So when you like particular song that actually, or you commented on line of the 140 character of that your text on your particular song, which is actually shared with your followers. So which is we believe that is a great tool for the discovering the music. So such as like I'm sorry, Alex and I have a pretty different preference of the music, but I think once we have following each other, that what I'm listening is actually shared with Alex, and then vice versa, which is made me discover the new horizon of the music, which is I'm not familiar with, and your preferences let me know about the new type of music, such as like that. So we hitting about like 100,000 download at this moment, and that's Android side, and then about 25,000 download in the iOS. We founded a company about a year ago, and then just closed that the Series B round of funding, and then want to do something great things here in Austin or here in US. So that's pretty much it. And I'm really happy to meet you guys. This is great. Thank you. That's
cool.
it.
John, any
I
questions?
have a question.
When you mentioned like terrestrial radio, right?
Yeah.
And like FM, does that imply that and I'm not too terribly familiar with devices over in that region, but does that imply that there are like FM receivers in the phone?
No.
Okay.
No, it's not like that. So just pretty much a smartphone app, though.
Okay.
It's nothing to do with that. I say like probably I pronounce more slowly, but unlike the terrestrial radio,
Okay.
this is a new type of new generation of radio. We call that particularly developed for the smartphone app. So, but we are inspired by that the 80% of listening hour for the music consumer is actually coming out from the radio experiences. So we inspired by the numbers and then pattern that actually what the consumers do. That we kind of imitating that how to deliver the music to the audiences out there. So that is kind of we developed the radio feature. So once we developed the radio feature, people actually come into our app and start to listen to the music. So prior to that like the making or creating playlists, and which is a great idea though, but people actually feel that this is very difficult and very like the rare cases how to consume the music, or I might say that for the just savvy users or music enthusiasts, but more broader consumers out there for the music, they are more like the lean back type of consumption pattern. So somebody else actually playing the music for you is the majority of time that actually you listen to the music, such as in the car or FM radio or internet radio on your desktop.
Was the FM, the radio feature for the app developed first, or did that come after the playlist?
It actually come after that.
Okay.
We developed the playlist and everything. So yeah.
So the playlist is sort of the interactive part of it, and then you have the radio feature, which is
Both are. So once you put the particular song that on your playlist, so you can be able to comment it on that song. Also, every feature, such as three major features in interacting, such as you can like particular song, which is actually we sending a notification to your followers. And then second thing is that you can actually leave a message, and it's literally that for yourself, but actually share with your followers. And third thing is you have your own collections, which is creating multiple playlists, or you can shuffling around songs among the playlists and those features. Those are three major interactive features, unlike the terrestrial radio.
and you can play what's on your playlist.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the default. I mean, that's the basic things that every music app actually offers for you. So. Yeah, sure.
Is there sort of like a feed that where you can see what all your friends are listening
Yeah,
to and
yeah,
writing?
yeah, like the Twitter.
Okay.
But I want to show you that.
Yeah,
real
please.
quick. Yeah. So just like this. This is kind of feed that the net connectivity is so slow now. So this is the kind of feed that you can see that the album covers and visuals, and then also how many people actually commented on a particular song, and then you see that the actual text that you put it into, and then there is a scroll up that you can browsing that the music that your followers and your community actually sharing together. So this is a pretty much good feature for the discovering the new music to me. So maybe best recommendation is probably my best friend's music, what they're listening at this moment or something like that. So it's like kind of one of the avenues that you can discover music.
Very cool.
Can you cache the playlists on your mobile device?
Android, that you can do that. iOS, we are working on it because at the iOS required a little bit more strict than technical requirements for the caching things like the PRs and stuff. So Android side and iOS is slightly different requirements for the developers. So we are still working on the iOS side, but Android, yeah, you can catch it. But we encode it though. So you not see that actually title anything that when you look at the file, we encode it, but it is to be able to catch it.
Are you available here yet? I kind of missed that. Are you available in the States?
Not yet, not yet. We're targeting the third quarter. But primarily, probably we deliver that K-pop at this moment. We don't have much repertoire, big catalog at this moment. We're conversational with that major labels too. But I think it takes a while to actually sorting out all the legal things and agreement. That's a very, very cumbersome actually though. But we have to go through though. So we are still in the conversation with that the three major like Universal, Sony Music, and Warner. But usually it takes, I think Spotify actually took 2 years to actually sort those things out. So we just started a conversation about like 3 months ago. So there's lots of legal things. So for third quarter, probably we could open up for, I don't know how much you guys like the K-pop though, but some of the teenagers actually have a lot of population here in Texas who want to listen to K-pop. So that is an initial catalog actually we'd be able to ready for launch. So you can be able to play around with the K-pop, and then you can come back to me and ask about what the lyric means. So, oh, by the way, that we have actually a lyric section here, so you can be able to see that the lyrics here too, such as like this. So we have a translation English and Korean at this moment. But pop that like the other genre, like which is popular here in the States, that you can see just English lyrics too. So, yep. I'm excited meeting you guys.
How different were the challenges for licensing in Korea compared to what you're going through right now?
Oh, yeah, that's a very, very excellent question though. Korea is actually relatively small geographical area compared to the US. So much straightforward and local. I think here in the US it's much more complicated because that we have a much variety of the labels and producers like indie band and everything. But Korea is much more like local community which know each other very well within the community. So it's much more straightforward in the shorter time that we actually nailed down all the label agreement. different. I mean, it's culturally different. Though.
So is it just interactive streaming where you can select songs? There's no like videos or?
No, we don't have any video.
Oh, okay.
No, we're focusing on the music.
So I'm wondering if it would be. Oh, do you need the mechanical license to stream this?
Oh, all the perform. I mean, there's a three different type of licensing for that the field music services. One is that the copyright and the performance license, and the label, which is the master copy. They own the master copy.
Yeah.
So there's a three different type of. For the radio experiences, such as like Pandora, I have a different scheme, such as like sound exchanges. I know there's a lot of, I think Congress have like the hearings about the next generation of the, we call the statutory licensing. So I think this is still kind of an ongoing thing that evolving, following, the legal scheme is evolving following the industry trend. So I think they're named down pretty soon. So, but that is a different story for the radio expenses. But in general, like downloading per streaming basis, that we have a three different type of licensing you have to cover, which is a performing copyright and then master copy, which is labor only at productions. So, yeah.
Cool.
Are you the founder of the company, or
No, I'm not a founder of a company. I'm just happy to know the founder of the company.
what do you do in the company? I mean,
My official title is the growth manager. So they founded the company a year ago, and started a company from scratch, and we raised about $1.5 million in Korea. And then second round, then we'll raise a little more sizable capital from the one in Silicon Valley and one in Korean capital. So they like to, they admired that Spotify for a long time, and then they want to do a little bit more social sense that the enhancing that the from the Spotify, such as like the Twitter type. They actually build a company called Meetup, which is that the Korean type of Twitter that they acquired by one of the major portal in Korea, and then they come out from that the stable job and then start a company again. So they are very, very savvy about social model. So in this particular app, they kind of put into their passion about that the social sense to how do people enjoy the music. So that's the kind of new horizon that we want to explore. And Spotify and audio, this is great. We really admire for a long time. And I think there is some other advantage actually consumers be able to enjoy the music consumption. So that's I want to build a businesses on the music here in local city in Austin. I used to be an Android developer though.
I'm just curious, since your services are, I mean, you curate stuff,
Yeah.
so it's kind of similar to Beats in some way.
Yeah.
Is there any concern, I don't know how you're potentially branding it since it's not available in the States, but I'm just curious. I mean, you say beat packing.
Yeah.
Is there any concern that Beats is gonna?
We need to look into it though. Yeah. Before we launch that here in the state, I think that's a legitimate point. But beat packing and beat is different though.
Beats may not feel that way, but
Yeah. But we need, I think you're, I mean, that is a legitimate point. We need to look into before that we launch the services.
Is Beats available in Korea?
No. No.
Maybe you get some kind of cross, you stay away, we'll stay away.
It is not allowed in Korea. For the domestic services, pretty much dominating the Korean scene. And then other than that, I think diesel is available. That is a French, European services. And for the foreign, like the other country that I think diesel is one of the, Pandora is Pandora is not available. Yeah, diesel is actually only the country. Korea is very unique in terms of like licensing out there and producing that in music content. So there's a little bit of the cultural barrier actually, all the music services to compete in that fair ground. So
Is Spotify available? And it's not? Okay.
Yeah. I wish I could. I wish I used Spotify in Korea.
Do you have any plans for like a desktop client or like a web interface?
No.
Okay.
We're a small company, so I just mobile focusing. So we discuss about that, but I think that's too much for us. So in terms of resources and our capacity, I think we're going to focus on the mobile side. So, and then I think mobile is going to be the major avenue to consume that streaming music. So we don't have any doubt about it. So I think that would be a huge opportunity for any music startup anywhere else in the world, maybe Europe, maybe state in Asia. So I think we're pretty much mobile focused company.
Great.
Thank you, appreciate it.
All right, well, Matt's not here to present, so I guess we'll just go into like a networking, like 45 minutes or so, or half an hour. We have water and Coca-Cola back there, no beer, unfortunately, to get y'all talking, but thanks for coming out, really appreciate it. It's smaller turnout than usual. I think next month we're gonna probably hold off until September and get started up back then when people are in town and it's not scalding hot outside. And yeah, but thank you so much for coming. And
what was it that you had planned in September again?
I think in September we want to do a music licensing special meeting or meetup with a couple attorneys. I met an attorney last week that really wanted to present, and the attorney that I work with wants to present. So we should have 3 of like the top music licensing attorneys in town coming to speak. But Luis will let you know via Meetup. We also want to have some more interesting stuff in here besides just presentations. So I'm going to come up with some interactive things that are fun to do and get people talking to each other. But yeah, that's just it for today. Feel free to just hang out and chat for a while. I'll be here, so holler at me if you have any questions. But thanks for coming. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Oh, I think that's still got yeah, you need to start.
Wait, what's new?
Oh, not too much. Well, a lot actually, but like, so I'm trying to get we had a show that's going along pretty well. We got plans for the venue together and it's something like it's a big experience, so I'm happy about it. It's always kind of it's like, so we basically have because everybody's like, I do it this way, I know what works. And so it's like, yeah, everybody's like, they're all saying different things, but they're all like, I know this is what works. So I'm like, guys, we tried most of these things before, we're going to try some new things. So
It's interesting.
It's changed a lot. Like these days, I think there's still word of mouth. But if you rely strictly on word of mouth, you're probably not worth it. You also got to do online promotions. You also got hand-to-hand promotions are still not there.
Yeah, it's like street team, you know, put your posters or stuff. Yeah, that's still available.
It's worth it too. It's like, if you don't have the time to do it yourself, definitely need to find somebody to do it.
Yeah, there's always somebody, even if it's like another. Give me a sandwich and just a couple bucks, right?
Or I mean, like a lot of times, like you promise people like free entry plus food for
I take care of the probably wouldn't make any money.
Yeah, you give them like, a lot of times like these places, it's like the venue will have to say, we'll do X amount of tickets for this night. You can use that to listen, right? However you see fit. But I mean, that number is limited, right? So you can't just say, oh yeah, you can come and I'll be it's all night. So like they're like, yeah, we'll buy X number of things.
I didn't even think about that. It's pretty smart for Vinny to have their own like.
Oh, they all do it. Well, that's how that's how a lot of people do it. That's how people kind of grease the wheels to get people to like deals.
Oh well.
Yeah, we're still talking though. It's good.
Sweet.
I'm kind of trying to get away from this because like right now I would say like if you look at I was told like kind of 18 to 21 to the 21 to like 30 age range. The split is probably like 70-30 the older crowd to the younger crowd, which is actually it's like that's probably the opposite of what in town. So like we're trying to kind of shift it so it's hopefully because the thing about going to overground is like, not only on here, yeah, we don't think it's kids, you know, they're longer, and they also tend to tell their friends because older people like they have like their years later you can tell them it's like they'd be like bigger about it. But if you tell a lot of these college crowd, little walks, they realize it's sport film. You get those like 15 or 16 people, pretty soon you have like 40 people because his friends told all their friends. So yeah.
Everybody going tonight.
Exactly. That's interesting. When I was in Arizona before here, and we ran one of the bigger nights. Still one of the bigger nights in Southwest. We got that way because we worked hard at the college crowd. And we built it from that, and then like back to like our regular, like concert crowd, like top of that. It was like a nice the never-ending battle, I would say, is trying to bridge together the heads that know about everything, and the kids don't really know about everything. And they're just here because of the context, right? Because somebody said it's a big joke, it's supposed to be that. The heads, though, are like, I would only spend my money if you bring this person. No, I'm dead serious. Like, they're like that. And so it's like, well, I mean, they're kind of like this. They're kind of like, you bring out certain people and they're like, yeah, and they come out and the kids are like, yeah, that's okay. We like it, but we don't like it that much. And so like maybe get fewer of like the younger heads showing up. It is, and in every city it's a little you're gonna have like, for example, out here it's like from base you've got a lot of people who have been in cities for many years. They have specific kind of people that they really look up to. And we're actually I'm not gonna shake it, but this is one of the guys that people have been really excited to see them. I had a chance to meet him last year, and yes sir, yeah, just on radio. And he used to be on radio as well. So he's kind of no, he has not done essential mix because he's not really like a prolific producer. Because like most of the time if you're gonna be if you're gonna do an essential mix, you have to be like a producer with like 100 releases to it. At least. I'm telling you, all the guys on there are like, except for maybe a few guys that are just like moldy DJs that can't not have on there. Most of them are really good producers, and that's their primary function in the scene is to make music. So, but yeah, that's one of those people. So like him, last year I brought Total Science. That was a hit. Total Science is two guys from they're from the UK, and they actually spend a lot of time in the States. They come to the States a few times a year, so like they built up a following over the years. Like they've been coming here since the 90s, and so a lot of people know about yeah, I mean, Austin, we do okay for ourselves because we don't take our bets. Road Mace is not, it's not everybody's favorite genre of dance. I would say out here, everybody's favorite genre of dance is all the electro house shows are all the techno shows. Yeah, and all the stuff that falls under like that umbrella of traditional dance music is like that's what they do here. This is house music. And so what our strategy going forward is to take it back to how it used to be, where you could go to a party here, all different styles of music. You can hear house, trance, double bass, dubstep. I mean, you know, it's crazy. Nobody promotes that out here. Thank God. In Arizona, it's like, honestly, if you look at any of those rave promoters out there, it's the biggest stage we always have. I've never been into that scene. It's like, it's like playing everything in speed. I remember the first time I ever walked into that happy party. I was like in there for like 5 minutes, and I was like, this is confusing. I'm like, I don't even know what I'm listening to.
I just always remember that they always have this. I was in serious for like line 1 or 1.6.
Yeah, I'm just like, you have the website that's not completely finished. So, those contests, these are our different contests, and
this website called
contest page, right? And there's a feed, so everything about the contest goes to this feed, all the submissions, details about the contest. And then we start voting. Let's see, the developers are working on it. But
well, there's this show
yeah, where it's mostly like pop music and stuff people like to sing a lot. It's karaoke basically. And then this is our voting arena, so you have the videos side by side, and if you vote for this one, then this one is replaced by the next one here.
For it to be interesting, it has to.
So yeah, and then you have.
They have anything from like experimental.
You out of here?
Yeah, I'm gonna go to the open mic over at Magnet.
Oh, cool. You play the ukulele?
Sure do.
Awesome. Yeah, good luck. Break a leg.
So it's a lot like that. It's like this big episode every Thursday.
Playing the ukulele.
About a half hour long. It's always
It's open mic.
YouTube. Yeah, it's network awesome. And then the show is called 120.
So yeah, this is our site we're working on now.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to the site now.
Network awesome.
It should be done in a couple weeks.
It's like it's just a bunch of German dudes in Berlin.
So you guys have
They just scour YouTube and then they do like
possibility to raise a fund, or what is the status of?
We've raised some money, and that gives us probably like
and then just
9 months to work. Yeah, 9 months of burn
You'd
rate.
be surprised at how many
And
movies are on
during that whole time, we'll be trying to raise more money and get into incubators, but we haven't really tried yet. We want to wait till the site is up and live and see it and work out all the bugs and everything.
So
is that more web services, or you guys are looking into the mobile side too?
It is
it'll all the navigation. So it's all within their website. You can like.
So we don't have an app, but it works online or on the phone or on a
You
tablet.
can just sit back and just like play.
That's actually what's holding us up, is getting all the everything worked out for mobile.
So basically, I can be able to upload it, you know, after I recording my songs, and people voted for
I
the
saw
song.
like there was
That-
one
that's
episode
pretty
that was
much
all like
Yeah, so you
idea about.
the music video.
you would just go here and you would say
And it was this lady that was doing
big contest, and you would go
contest, and you
take the rules.
So
and then add your video, right? Signature entry, that button,
Check it out.
stuff. And then you go to that voting arena show, so people can come back every day and vote on their favorite videos. At the end of the contest, like the top 5 win prizes.
You sell musicians?
No, no, it's just music. We're fans.
Band high school?
How do you?
I was trying to be a rapper in high school. That was very bad. Poor decision.
What kind of interactivity do you have planned for us in the next couple of months?
Well, I went to a lean startup meetup like 5 months ago, and they basically just split us into groups based on like major shifts that were happening in the tech industry, like 3D printing, I forget what it was, like broadband something. Basically things that are going to enable like a lot more creativity and technology to happen. And we basically, it's like a mini hackathon about coding, so just like coming up with ideas, and each group presented like a convention or whatever they had, which is fun. Most people come here just like talk to other people and share what they're working on.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was a great talk. Yeah.
I was totally on. I think
That was good though. I have a question for you. In Korea, it sounds like people use cell phones almost to the exclusion of any other type of device. It seems like that's most of the rest of the world.
I know some places around the world have like FM receivers in it. That's why I asked that question. I was like there's some places I know that have like FM and radio built into their phones, like the radio. And I'm like,
broadcasting electrical model in your cell phone.
yeah.
We tried that one time, but I think it's gradually gotten away other space. I mean, like people more
specialize in license.
more especially on like the internet kind of world rather than the old kind of, but
As it is in my life.
so I think I do like it. It's gone. Very, very fast. Things have changed.
Oh, wow.
Features.
Hey, sweet. Mobile first. I've been hearing that a lot Thursday. Mobile first.
You'll be amazed.
Welcome back.
Thank you. It's being that how they use it.
Yeah, we're back. Back again.
Everybody present.
I'm excited.
No, we should have one presenter.
Yeah, just that one. Well, our other presenter is
Yeah, the features on, I've been to Japan and
Hey Matt.
I remember we went to
Sure.
the electronics, some of the electronics grab like funny side downtown Tokyo.
Just curious.
But the feature sets on phones are ridiculous. And like a lot of the stuff that like people were had like 3D images on their phone, 3D games. Like,
Sorry, I'm having a baby on Thursday.
Wait, what?
Having a baby.
2000.
Okay.
Alright. So I brought my program here when I first came.
Kind of like modest.
You remember that? But
Well, awesome. Congratulations.
so I feel like the festival's back again, trying to get all this shit in a short period of time, you know, before things really kind of.
Well, don't worry about it all. It's a really low turnout.
Right.
It's like yeah. Folks are busy. Appreciate you coming by.
Thanks a lot, man.
Like video. So it's run underneath the screen, so you can
I get all this shit right now.
you know, interacting with whatever software you have into it. So what's cool is that it's got like buttons and figures and stuff, but it's also got some accelerometers in it, so you can actually modified stuff like that. So like, if you're like pulling your guitar around, you can modify the sound when he's doing that. So I just started playing with that like last night, and I'm kind of impressed. Although they kind of I'm a left-handed guitar player. Most guitars are for right-handed people, so it looks a little awkward on the guitar, but I somehow got it to work. But yeah, no, I do all sorts of web development, backend stuff. C# PHP. That's probably true. But I'm getting into
Yeah, and I'm
like that.
well, that's a problem.
I almost bought one of those up to the vacuum partners.
I'm on the other side of the coin. I'm actually a hardware designer by trade. So I'm thinking about trying to expand my skill set a little bit too when I get into. So I have done software development in the past. So like I'm in the chip industry and semiconductors, and you don't do any hardware design these days without writing software.
Pro Tool stuff,
It just doesn't happen. Like it happens. So
Eagle or like.
And I actually,
there's some other like.
yeah, Eagle's like a PCB layout.
Yeah, layouts and stuff like that.
We use synopsis stuff.
Oh, really?
Design compilers.
well, yeah, just said Thursday. So
So it's chip level stuff. Principles are
it's a
more or
whole
less the same, just on a different level. Yeah, just on a really small.
Anyways,
Like
Michael,
if you looked at, it's just the. The parasitics and the initial are
2 weeks
way
later,
more finicky at the lower level. So the tools are just, they're
we
just
go back in
built
the studio
to,
to
they're
re-auto.
built to handle like really extreme
Unfortunately, it's
problem sets.
so we have to.
I'll put it that way. They're built to handle really like problems of like several thousand euros.
And you can also like dial in.
Because that's essentially what it is, right? It's like you say, hey, I want to make a circuit that has, for example, like a really small example would be like these 32 inputs go in and these 16 come out. Everything in the middle needs to be optimized down as far as it can go.
Yeah, I can give my demo now if you guys want.
So
I'm just thinking of unit tests. That's the whole thing. I was like, that's gotta be a ginormous unit test.
well, that happens in each. Somebody sits in front of a tester and does exactly that. Analyzes it.
That's gotta be.
But I mean, it's mostly automatic these days. I mean, like a lot of the test sets and stuff, people are writing less and less of it by hand, which is good because a lot of that's like error prone.
Okay, is everyone gonna hang around?
Oh, yeah.
Cool. I'll wait for Mike. Hey guys, how's it going? I'm super late. I'm having a baby on Thursday, so I'm all over the place.
You don't look pregnant.
I know. I've been exercising and walking a lot. So thanks for hanging around though and letting me talk. I presented. It's supposed to just kind of scroll over it. There we go.
I almost had it. It looked like it would drag it over.
Wait, is that it right there?
Yeah.
So I presented a few weeks ago. There it is, the other side. And our company is taking the turn for the better. So I'm half going to show you what you guys have. I'm half going to show you guys what I have now. Half going to give you the vision of where we're going. And I'm here creating a Ripple. We've got a good development team, but we're taking on a new kind of project and way. So we are looking for really talented developers that are, super interested in the music space and super interested in, helping facilitate live music, because that's what we do. And I'll tell you a little bit more about that. But here's our technology. So we started off servicing this festival called Fête de Musique. It happens in over 800 cities around the world on June 21st, which is the summer solstice. And it's this really cool thing that started 32 years ago, and it's extremely grassroots. The festival is like anti what you would experience at like ACL or like a really commercial festival, as opposed to having like headliners that are on one stage and a bunch of people watching. The whole point of this festival is to involve an entire community. So in France specifically, businesses around the city turn into stages, and the people who play music come out and play music are professional acts, but they're also up and coming acts, and they're amateurs, and they're members of the symphony orchestra, members of the metal band down the street. It's really, the whole festival is about whoever wants to play music comes out and plays music. And the way our company got started, we essentially have a tech platform that allows you to organize one of these community festivals in a really simple way, which I'll show you. But the way we got started is the festival expanded into Madison, Wisconsin, and they needed a tech platform. The organizers needed a tech platform to do this festival in a really organized way, and they couldn't find anything. So we came in and we did it basically on a volunteer basis, and then eventually got paid for it. And we were used by 6 cities in the first year, and this year we were used by 22 cities. So we saw a good amount of traction, but all those festivals are nonprofit, and we've made some nice revenue, but we're ready to kind of turn this into, a real company. So there's a few markets we're expanding into, which I'm really excited to tell you guys about. And we're in the process of thinking if we're just going to double down with the team we have and really make it happen. We're going to be a little bit spread thin, trying to serve all of our customers and develop this new stuff. Or we're kind of deciding if we want to bring on a new developer or potentially bring on a new team. So anyway, here's the technology. I threw a music festival in Austin with this technology called Solstice Austin. It launched this year. It involved 35 venues around the city and we had 145 performances all around the city, and it was free and really great. And I'm going to show you the platform we used to organize that festival specifically. So the first things first is this is just like a front for the website. People want to know what Solstice Austin is about. You come right here and boom, here's the description, and there's the mobile app, both Android and iPhone if you want to download it. The schedule's here and all that good stuff. But as we were planning the festival, as I mentioned, it's all about like members of the community coming together to organize this festival. So that's where our application comes into play. So if you own a business downtown and you want to host bands, or if you own a venue and you want to host bands, you click here on host, and then you click sign up, sign in, and that'll eventually bring you to our backend application. So this is Bar 2211, which is a real bar in Austin that participated in this festival, and here's their profile. So the booking manager for Bar 221 created this account, and using this website, they can browse all the artists that signed up to participate in the festival. Oh, hold on, let me log in right here. I wish I could see it from here, because now I'm going in reverse, which is really confusing. Anyway, so I switched profiles. Hang on, give me a second, guys. I'll go to the black heart. You guys all know the black heart, right? Anybody? Come on, let's get a little more lively here, crowd. Okay, so if you're the black card and you want to book bands for this festival, you click on Find a Match. And for the festival, 151 local bands signed up to participate. And you can go here, and a bunch of them listed their Facebook, some listed their Twitter, their website, and you can use this to kind of browse their music and find what artists you like. If it's overwhelming to look at 151 potential artists to book, see Mike, you can filter by genre. So let's say you only want to book blues artists at your venue. You click on blues, and then you can see all the blues artists. Or let's say you want to book only jazz art or Latin artists. You can do the same thing as well. There was 4 that signed up as the Latin genre. And then let's say you really like this band right here. You click Request a Performance. You say what time you want this band to play. I want them to play from 2 to 3. And then you click, boom, Request a Performance. The band gets an inbox, and it says, the Black Heart wants you to play at this time, and here's the details. If the band confirms the performance, then a performance is created and the data point is sent to the listings. So after about 156 bands tried to create performances with, I think, 50 venues that signed up, as I mentioned, about 145 performances actually were created. So here's a list of all the performances for the festival. Once again, just trying to browse them all is a little bit overwhelming. So we allow you to filter by genre. So you can see all of the experimental performances. You can click on an artist's name. You can read a little bit about her. You can check out her internet or her website, her Facebook, her Twitter, all that good stuff. And another really cool feature is we let we auto-generate both artists and venues posters so that they can hang it up on their wall and whatnot. And this was a really great feature for the festival because we saw them pretty much everywhere. One thing that I've learned along the way is if you give your users the tools to market themselves, that's really all the marketing that you really need. So Wheatsville Co-op, for instance, participated. Here's their little festival lineup. They hung this all over the store, and it was a great resource for getting people to the show. But anyway, what we're expanding into, which is just going to be me telling you about it because we don't have it built yet, is through doing this festival and getting connected with all these artists, we got overwhelmingly positive feedback from the artists about the booking process and how it was a great way to find opportunities. So what we're moving into is, as opposed to just having this service for one festival, we are going to continue powering festivals, but we're also releasing an ongoing booking service in between venues and artists. So the whole point is if you're an artist and you want to go play at a specific venue, you can go on this website, browse all the venues that are looking for performances, then you can request a performance with them and manage your booking through an online, really simple, easy way. That's one of the things we're going into. We're also going to be powering a lot more festivals. We're talking to about 4 festivals here in Austin already. So be on the lookout for that as well. And we're kind of just spread really thin right now. And as I mentioned, we're looking for more developers. So that's why I'm here talking, as well as just looking to connect with everyone. This really isn't a new space. I've ran into a lot of companies that have tried this, but I would say we have a really good thing going in that we power these festivals that involve local artists and local venues. So there's this now like symbiotic relationship between, we have this festival that got us in with all of these local artists, and now they've used our technology and we want to give them services on an ongoing basis. And at the same time, any artist we reach on an ongoing basis is going to allow us to then market our festivals too. So we're going to create this kind of like nice ecosystem of opportunities for artists. Happy to like answer any questions or hear feedback or whatever.
So I know your revenue stream from Solstice came through licensing the software to cities. How does this new model make money?
So through the event, a lot of bands have already hit me up and are like, you know all these venues, we'd like to get a gig. And like I already hooked up a band with a venue and they're getting paid $100. This band is now going to get paid $100 to play a weekly gig at this venue. And I asked the band, I was like, hey, I facilitated the opportunity. Can I get a cut of it? And they happily gave me a cut. So that's essentially how the platform is going to work. We're facilitating these gigs. The bands are going to get paid, and we'll take a cut when the band gets paid. We're not going to charge the artists. It's going to be free for artists because fuck charging artists. They're up and coming, and they need money. I certainly don't want to make money off of artists. So yeah, that's the plan, to make money.
Cool.
So are you Solstice, or is that the festival that you?
Yeah, so that's a great question. So we are Solstice as a tech company, and we power a bunch of different festivals that aren't called Solstice. But we started a festival in Austin called Solstice, really to showcase our company and our technology. So it's like Pitchfork throwing a festival. We threw a festival with our own technology, and we just named it after our company.
So Solstice is your own festival?
Yeah, Solstice is, we, in this case, on the summer solstice, we took our technology and threw a festival with it.
And you're essentially commissioning, you're going to get a piece of the bookings that you get for the artists that are hooked up with a gig on your platform.
Mm-hmm. So there's I've heard numbers be thrown around. There's something like 100 live music performances in Austin happening without technology. I like to think we could improve that number if there was a really good system to find opportunities, because I know there's venues that would like to have more bands. There's bands that would like to have more gigs, but right now it's kind of just a who do you know type of game and who you really like hustling with. Long story short, there's 100 going on. I think we can improve that number and make it around 130 if we can get 20% of the 100 performances that are already happening, or if we can get 20% to go through our platform and take a cut of that. It's something like $300 a day, which adds up. We're a small team, and that's one city. So I think if this worked really well in Austin, it'd be obvious to expand into New York and Seattle and Portland and all the other cities that have a really live music scene. that's the other thing as well, is we work with this festival in New York, who actually, it's a really, really great festival. There's 1,300 performances all around New York City on one day, and we power their technology, and we have access and ownership over the data, so we can market whatever we want to those users. And I think there was thousands of local bands who used it, and something like 400 venues. So once we do it really well in Austin, we've already got a built-in audience in New York, and we've got a festival in Philadelphia. I'm sure that would be a good place. We've got a festival going in Madison, even one in Beijing, China. I'm not trying to go to Beijing, China with this yet, but point being is there's these like built-in marketing channels through the festivals we're already powering that are kind of paving the way for us. So it's like an obvious thing for us to do. Is there any developers in the room? What kind of development stuff do you guys do?
I'm doing mobile stuff right now, like interactive music on mobile using pure data.
Cool.
And I do web stuff too, but I got my job.
That's awesome.
I don't work. I already got a job I don't want, so yeah. I'd rather. I've been scaling down a day job trying to do my own thing, so.
Good for you.
Definitely not looking for more work, but
yeah.
But,
oh, I didn't mean to like single you out. I was just curious. If there's any developers, because developers know developers, and
yeah, right.
yeah, we've got a small team of developers as it is, but we've got a growing customer base that want to use the festival technology, and to offer this on an ongoing basis is going to be a completely different build. Like one feature in and of itself is like, well, this festival happens on one day or a select number of days. So now we got to build some kind of like calendar where like venues can say when they're available and whatnot. It's all stuff we can build for sure, but it's like, it's going to take a serious amount of effort, and then just managing the data and all
What's
that.
the stack like?
What's that? KPHP, MySQL,
Gotcha.
Ember front end.
Gotcha. Ember, okay.
Yeah. Have any of you guys seen like any ongoing booking services or people pitching something similar to that?
Not in Austin.
I've met a couple booking apps / websites during South by at the Music Interactive Festival Park. I don't remember any of them now, but I'll forward you some.
Please.
I'll check out the cards I got.
Yeah. So I remember you were here, I think the first month.
Mm-hmm.
And so I've been into the DJ and producer scene for a long time. And I know that there's a couple of services. I think one of them is called Gig Turn that does that.
Cool. Gig Turn.
And there is another one that I would have to look up the name of that they're kind of like an all-purpose deal, right? So like they handle people's social media, they handle like some of the kind of self-promotion type stuff for people, and they also do kind of like they do bookings for people both in their local area and like abroad. So yeah, I would have to look at the second.
Are they out of Austin?
Up, but no, they're not in Austin.
Yeah, like I mentioned, I feel like I've heard thrown around a couple of times, and at least when I've talked to investors, they're like, it's not that this is new. I feel like a lot of people have tried and failed, and
yeah,
I feel like
no, I mean neither of those are local to Austin.
Yeah.
So and neither of them are very big. So
and what a city to be doing it in. I think the fact that there's not an ubiquitous system in Austin is proof that there's room, because it's like if you're going to launch a product like this, if it's not going to be Austin, maybe you're going to do it in Nashville or maybe in New York. And I haven't heard of any. We've got a customer in Nashville and we've got a customer in New York, and we talk with them closely, and there's nothing that they use. Like there's like Reverb Nation, which is more of like, from what I understand, is more of kind of like a MySpace. It's a place for you to put your stuff and link to, and I've talked to a lot of bands that are on Reverb Nation, but not a lot of bands that use Reverb Nation to source opportunities, at least consistently. So I think one thing we can do really well is just like focus on, here's where you go as a band to get a live music gig, and that's it. And actually not offer them other stuff.
Right.
Like if you want a way to manage your Facebook, great. Like that's a good opportunity, but we're trying to get you a gig, I think in general the world is moving towards more of a community world where like we're more hyper-local focused and whatnot. And as a result, I do believe like up and coming acts are gonna see their kind of brand equity rise a little bit. And I don't know if you'll ever be have a really good living as a local act, but I think if there's ever a time to make a living as a local act, it's now when we're moving towards this community world. And on top of that, with Spotify and digital music decreasing in value, bands are seeing that live music is a really good way is really the only way to spread yourself and to make sales.
That t-shirt.
Was that well? And how do you sell T-shirts? Just you perform live,
Yeah.
So it's the perfect time to act on it. And
What festivals are y'all doing next here in Austin?
There is a festival that I don't want to tell you about because I don't want to jinx myself. It'd be really exciting if we got it, and a good paying contract as well. But it's happening here in September. There's a bunch that I can tell you about. We're teaming up with this company to throw a Halloween fest that's decentralized and spread around the city, and it's really just in the planning phase. So there's really nothing to it yet, but we're gonna make that happen. They're a good group of people that do a good amount of events around town. We're also, it's like an obvious that we should have this functionality running during South by Southwest. There's like 5,000 bands in town, and so many venues are looking for bands, so many bands are looking for venues, and there's no process for this. So I think, launching at South by Southwest would be really great, and, not launching in the way that like, hey, I'm this guy with an idea, but launching like, hey, like if you want if a band needs a gig, refer them to my website. There's 100 venues looking for bands right now. Like that would be really great.
Yeah, and day shows. I'm sure those people have messy ass spreadsheets too.
Yeah, this gets rid of a messy ass spreadsheet.
How are you marketing it to artists and venues to let them know about your site?
Yeah, so this is another reason why I think we're the best company to act on this, because we have this festival. We got all of the people to sign up, all of the venues and all the artists. I think it's somewhere around 2,500 local artists now. We never marketed to artists to join some tech platform. The way that artists have signed up is they've all signed up to participate in this festival, which is really great. So I have access to all these bands and venues because I promoted the festival. Now, how I promoted the festival was just a lot of direct contact. Like the first thing I did was get all the venues signed up, and 50 some signed up, and I probably got 500 no's and 50 panned out. I just knocked on a shitload of doors, and that was it. I looked the owner in the eye and said, "That's what I want to do."
What about artists though? I mean, the artists that aren't playing in the festival, or they're just around town or in an area where you're not doing a festival. I mean, how would they learn about your product?
Yeah, all right, so that's why it's okay. So going back to it, so like I got the venue signed up at first, and the reason why I did that is because then I went to artists and I said, hey, there's all these venues looking for gigs, and that was a call to action for them. I wasn't selling them on an idea. And that's a similar way to how I'm gonna market this ongoing product, is get a lot of venues to say they want to host bands to this platform. And then how I find them more specifically, there's like a million lists out there. Like the Austin Chronicle has a list of all the up and coming artists. Reverb Nation does, although I think they blocked my profile because I found the shit out of users. Reverb Nation has a list. You can go and there's still plenty of live music performances happening. You can go and see the White Horse's schedule. It's nothing glamorous. It's just a lot of kind of guerrilla marketing, researching lists of local bands. You told me a bunch of them, and I messaged them. And you told me about a few clubs. I just looked at all the bands that had played at the clubs. There was like Pecan Street Festival always hosts local bands, so I messaged all their artists. Anthony from Mind's Eye came and pitched here, and after I messaged his artist, I told him about it. Like it wasn't. I'm not a competitor to him. Like I'm giving his artist the opportunity. It's public information, so whatever. Free market. I just message a lot of people. That's really it.
Just a lot of email, word of mouth.
Facebook actually, but Facebook eventually blocked me, so then I had to get around that.
Permanently, or just
no
30-day things?
They didn't tell me when, which was the worst. It was just like I'd have to check every day, and then the festival hit a point where actually artists started snowballing, where without doing anything, I'd wake up and there'd be 10 more artists. So I stopped messaging people at that point, and then I think it just started working again, maybe after 2 or 3 weeks.
Don't you love how they do that?
Yeah, right. It sucks. And I messaged them. I'm like, I'm an entrepreneur. Like, I'm promoting to my artists, and Facebook's not gonna read that. Or like, that's spam.
They'll never read it, but they'll save it forever.
Yeah.
Machine will read it. Like,
Yeah, they want to have a really open platform, but then they don't want people to actually be really open, so they close you off.
But if you wanted to pay them to put a little ad on the side of the screen for all of those bands, they'll take your money for sure.
Yeah.
you know Sonic Bids, right? That platform?
I use Sonic Bids too, actually. I do use Sonic Bids, yeah. Yeah.
And that's similar to your space. Well, similar. Anyway.
One would see us as competitive to Sonic Bids. I would say the difference between us and Sonic Bids, there's a big difference. Like, Sonic Bids is really only for like fishing acts, where we have like this more kind of full service offering, like the schedule and the mobile app.
Right.
Like, a festival will go to Sonic Bids just to get 10 up and coming acts. A festival will go to us for us to power the tech infrastructure, which I think is like our competitive advantage. It's not just booking. It's not just.
Does the mobile app have the schedule, or is it?
Yeah.
So is there a music fan aspect to this as well, where music fans can see the clubs that have what upcoming shows they have, or go look at the artists and see what venues they might be playing?
Yeah, so that's this piece. So the festival, solsticeaustin.com was the festival that was the website that we promoted, and as like a patron of the festival or a fan, you could click on the schedule, and this is all public. You guys could go and see this. So you could browse all the artists, and let's check out Anna for a second. You could check out her website. The very next thing we're going to do is allow them to upload a YouTube video to listen to their music, and we didn't get that in for this year, but we're going to get in for next year. So I don't know if you guys can see or not, but here's the mobile app. It's just this is a map of Austin. There's Lake Austin right there, and all the red dots represent the venues. And you click on the venues, and you can see there's the Container Bar, for instance. There's our sponsor. You can see all the acts, and you can click on an act and see you can see their website. You can see their Facebook. But there we go. Website, Facebook, et cetera, et cetera. And then you can also filter it again by genre. So let's see, you only like indie folk. Wow, there's a lot of indie folk artists in Austin. Big surprise. You can check them out online. And yeah, we want to make this more interactive, but there's only so much you can build in a certain period of time.
Music is in the same space as you're trying to go.
What's that?
Muzeek, music.
Yeah. Funny story about that one. So when we founded this company, like I mentioned, we had founded it doing the festival, and we knew, we're like, why don't we just take this into ongoing matchmaking? We didn't want to do it at first because we're like, well, then we're just another tech company. If we're like working with this like worldwide festival, it's different and it's really cool. And it was funny, like we were thinking about names, and I came up with that name exactly.
Oh, yeah.
And I like typed it in, and it was the ongoing service. I was just like, okay, that's proof that I don't want to do it. But now we're gonna do it because I've just found that no one has done it yet. So, and it's something we want to do.
I mean, I think they're trying pretty hard. I introduced them to our booking agent at the parish, and he wasn't interested. It was like a little too complicated, and it wasn't adapted in Austin yet, so it wasn't really relevant.
How'd you meet him?
During South by.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I'll have to check it out. It's funny. I typed that name in exactly because that's what I wanted to name it. Yeah. There's a few. There's another one called Tommy Jams. A bunch of guys out of India, and initially we were working with these people because like they saw our audience and like, we want to market to your audience, and then it was enough people that had hit me up in that space where I was like, well, they want our audience because there's an opportunity there. So why don't we just go and build it, which is where we're at. We're probably dipping into the fundraising world again. We've got some revenue, but we've got a bridge where we're at to where we want to go, and that's kind of the time to fundraise. We want to do this in a really strong way, as opposed to just like the bootstrapped way, because we think that if someone's going to execute on it, it's got to be executed really well, and someone's going to make it in the space eventually. So I guess I'll put that ripple out there as well. Any of you guys know investors that are supporting music tech companies specifically, feel like the music tech pitch is tough because like
Very tough. People just roll their eyes instantly.
They roll their eyes instantly, and you know if an investor wants to make money, like rightfully so, they're going to be in healthcare. You know,
Right.
like I've got friends that spin up a company, and in 2 months they're like $10 million valuation. You know, that's an exaggeration, but I've seen something close to that. And there's just more money in healthcare, but you know the music space is fun, and like this is what I want to be doing, and we need to find investors that feel the same way as well, that they want to be in the music space, and they're doing what they're doing because of that. So I'm rambling at this point.
Well, you're not starting from scratch. You got
Exactly.
show for yourself, so you're ahead of the game definitely.
Yeah, exactly.
So who is your major competitor, you can say?
Well, so as I mentioned, I haven't really seen a major competitor. Events use Sonic bids to source gigs, and we will eventually market to their audience. But the difference between us and Sonic bids is we're more of a full tech offering, which I think is going to give us the foundation we need to sustain and go past them. But they're definitely hitting on that market. And then there's this other platform that you mentioned, Music. I'd say there's 30 or 40 or 50 companies just like that. But our difference between them is like we have this ongoing symbiotic relationship with the festivals we're already organizing. A lot of people come into this, and I don't know. The booking space in general is just very relationship based, and the festival allows us to get the relationships, which is why I think we're gonna win. So,
Have you thought about the size of fund that you're going to raise?
I'm thinking probably, so we've got a team of 5, and the money is gonna go right towards kind of talent. It's not gonna go towards marketing anything. It's just gonna go towards covering our expenses for the next 2 years. Maybe 3 years, and I'm thinking anywhere from 200 to 400 range would be something reasonable. We wouldn't be giving away too much. It would be all we would need for 2 years and change, and at that point we're going to be making some good revenue. So certainly not going after $1 million, which is good. 200,000 isn't the easiest thing to get in the world, but we can make it happen. You think you were asking something? Did you? Yeah.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I was gonna say Sonic bids, but I'm curious also about when an artist gets hooked up with the venue. I mean, is that the end of the transaction? The deal is done, or what happens if band shows up and venue is double booked?
Yeah, that is probably going to happen for sure, and happens a lot, without us. For the festival, okay, so this is really interesting. Sorry, if it was my girlfriend, I would have answered it, because then she might be in labor, but it's not. So. Okay, I'm gonna answer your question, I promise. So this festival we organized, 145 performances all over the city, 35 venues, 100 different bands, a bunch more signed up. That's how many actually got booked. Out of all of that, on the day of the event, I took 3 calls. One was from a sponsor that didn't coordinate with one of our venues properly, so I had to call the venue and make it happen. Once a band didn't show up, and I gave that venue the band's number, they called them. The band fucked up, and the venue was like, "Yep, it happens," and that's it. I can't even remember what the other one was. So out of all those performances that we booked, the ones that messed up, they didn't blame us or anything. They're just it's just human nature. Whatever you do, human nature can just fail, and I don't know. We just have to do our best to facilitate the connection. So we give the venues all the contact information of the artists. We give all the artists the contact information of the venues. We let them know plenty in advance, it's off our hands now. It's up to you guys. We connect them in an email exchange, and from there, you just gotta let go eventually. And
so if there's no contractual language or guarantees or anything, then you're also counting on the artist to report accurately their income so that you can take your slice correctly.
not that though. So the advantage to, that's a big question I get. It's what if the artist and the venue connect and they don't, then like, what if they like just do the deal underneath the table? Venues and artists don't want to communicate more, actually. They will pay for this. They will pay for this to work and to be easy. Venues just want to, you could relate to this. Venues just want to say yes. If you can email a venue and say, hey, I'm bringing this festival to you. I have 8 acts planned. Here's what time it's going to go. Here's how much I can charge you. They can say yes to an email and never talk to you on the phone. They will do it. So like that is our job, is to make this as easy as possible. And if we do our job in making it as easy as possible, they will pay $10, out of the $200 that they get to just make it easier. And then we can just put in our bylaws that it's legal, that by accepting our terms of service legally you have to do it, and and just I don't know.
Right.
Yeah.
So there isn't the expectation that the venues are gonna have some kind of a written agreement with the band, even assuming they're gonna pay you the cut that you're owed under your terms of service.
Yeah.
Just expecting that the deal, band signs up, venue agrees, band shows up, plays, and the venue is.
Yeah.
And they always get paid in cash.
Yeah. The bands do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They get paid.
What's that?
When they
I mean,
get
sometimes
paid.
you show up to play and you
Yeah.
don't get paid too.
Oh yeah, that too. Yeah, I mean there's some things to get around.
They'll be like, sorry, not as many people came as we thought, I only got, $20 for you tonight. Or, I mean, you get a lot of that shit.
Yeah.
What about pay to play and things like that?
Yeah, we're not gonna touch that. Definitely not. I think we're gonna make a stand of like artists should not pay to play, artists should not pay to be on a website. Like artists, like being an up and coming entrepreneur is tough enough. Like we can go to investors. That's like the ultimate cheat, in our world, and it's not easy. You know what I'm saying? It's like I have this really great idea, and then I'm gonna go through an accelerator or an investor, and they're gonna like pay us a lot of money, and not a lot of money, pay us enough money to like bridge the gap. Bands don't really have that yet, So I want to make their life a lot easier. So.
They're called labels that do that.
Labels, yeah.
Yeah, I can remember.
Good point. You're absolutely right.
I can remember when I was growing up playing in bands, I was making $600 a week, each person in the band. We had a 6-piece band. Wow. And we were just doing cover songs.
That's good.
That's real good.
Yeah.
We were doing like 4 nights a week, And now, like you said, it's $100 to play a show. We're making, $1,000 a night. Or if you're like in LA, it's like, well, you pay us $200 for tickets, and if you sell more than $200 worth of tickets, then that's what you get to take home.
Yeah. The only thing that I can say to that is it's my hope to bring, like, for the economics were working out in your favor back then, and I believe in those economics. Like the underlying assumption is like if you have live music, it's going to bring people in.
Absolutely.
It's going to keep people coming and whatnot, and I believe in that. And I think things gone away from that, and that's one thing a platform like this could help change. And that's really inspiring to hear that. Like, wow.
And bands drawing people drink alcohol.
That's right.
Right. And a lot big thing in Austin is like, I don't know, who in here likes going and hearing live music? Everyone, right? I mean, who doesn't is a better question.
We're in the music thing. We hate live music.
Have any of you seen like a good list of the live music happening in Austin? Good, accurate list, consistently?
Show list.
Show list is like 8 shows on there on a Saturday. There's more than 8 shows happening.
Dude 512 is pretty consistent with all the shows in Austin.
Which one's that?
Dude 512.
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah.
How does that compare with like Songkick and some of the big ones?
I don't know. It's just more I think local acts that are spread across like small venues, all over the east side or north or south. It's just they generally have like I'd say because I do social media and so I'm constantly like looking for events to post for companies and I'd say at least 30 like events a night, which is probably a fraction of how many there actually are. But
all right, let's do that then. I'm gonna put your money where your mouth is. Get me to a list of all the shows in Austin tonight.
Oh yeah, shit, go for it. It'll be right there. Look, scroll down.
Oh, just these types of events?
No, there's a bunch of them. So there's like C3%, right? C3 has a contract with D512, so they're always up top.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
But you'll scroll down, you'll see like Hotel Vegas and White Horse, and there you go. Like
Okay, but then what if I just want to see the rock acts?
the rock acts. So go to all events. Yeah, there you go. Not an option.
Music's probably the closest.
I mean, it's pretty good, for sure. It could be better though. And I'm not trying to call you out or anything.
Oh, I'm silent. Okay.
Yeah, and then like a map is like okay. Compare that to what we got for the festival.
Sure. Yeah. It's like it's nothing in comparison.
You know, like, and then you can see if you want to just see a map of the city, like boom, you can see a map of it. And
Yeah.
you know, I'm just an entrepreneur, like defending what, like that's. Fuck you if I went to. I like to if I went to a lot.
They're not niche. They're events all over. Right?
Yeah, yeah. The other thing is too is I think there is like a lot of power in that whenever you post an event on you have to post the event on Do512, right? So it's on the responsibility of the venues to post.
Well, they try to integrate this new feature where you can upload like videos. Like they'll put the artists and stuff, but the artists can maybe add their own videos or
Yeah.
links to their like Facebook and stuff. But I never see any, legitimate, substantial information about the artist or videos or links to their, it's pretty sparse generally.
Yeah.
I usually get like one video of the opening act who's based, in Austin,
And then
and that's it.
let's see the alternative, which is what I use. Wait, no, that's not it. Is Show List Austin, which is like, this is as bare bones as you can get, Like, why can't I click on this guy and see? I don't know. Like, I'm not necessarily extremely passionate about listings, but I think if there was a really good way to check out music happening everywhere and it was extremely accurate and it was turnkey, the great thing about if we power booking, that automatically just like uploads to listing. So that means the venues don't have to put in the information. They don't have to put in the information like false. Like the same thing that's on the bill that the artist and the venue see is what goes to listing automatically. So that maybe will do a better job of getting people to the shows more consistently.
Well, would you expose an API for other app developers or other people to pull in that list?
Hell yeah, for sure. For sure. Why not,
Yeah, I mean, I'm not just talking about like RSS feeds, but actual being able to narrow down. Because that's why I mentioned Songkick. They have an API where you can narrow down. You can narrow down between like cities and dates and artists. I don't know if they do
check
genre.
out Soundkick.
But yeah, Songkick is pretty.
Write down Timber too. Timbre.
How do you say it?
Timbre.
Okay.
It's an app. So.
Okay, cool. I'll check it out. So that's it. I'll go ahead and get out of the front. I mean, it was a lot of fun. Thanks for hearing me out. My email is matt@onesolstice.com. So feel free to hit me up, but we'll be all be here talking as well. And thanks for the opportunity to chat and show off the product.